Hi, Sean from Sheridan Nurseries. Today we'd like to help answer the major question being posed at our garden centers these days is what do I do with damaged trees and shrubs after the ice storm? Well, in order to best answer that question, we really want to talk about four major themes. Theme number one is going to be assessing the area and commencing cleanup. Theme number two is going to be light pruning for aesthetic purposes. Theme number three is heavy level pruning for larger damaged areas. And theme number four is going to be removal and replacement. However, because we're in the middle of winter, we want to talk about theme number one, assessing the area and commencing cleanup, because this can be done at any time during the year, especially now, right now in the wintertime. So in order to assess the situation, the first thing we want to do is make sure that the area is going to be safe to work in. We want to make sure there's no visible hazards, no fire, wire, gas, or glass, and we want to make sure that we can actually get to the area where we need to do the work. Sometimes with heavy snowfall, there may be some hazards hidden under the snow. So if you have any qualms or questions about whether or not an area is safe, it's best to hold off until you can really see what the area is going to bring. That can either entail snow removal or waiting for some of it to melt. However, today I was able to determine that the area that I need to work in is actually quite safe. So the first thing I did is I got down into this area and determined, okay, what tools do I really need in order to do the job? Because I'm only going to be doing some light cleanup of branches that have fallen directly onto the ground or that are hanging onto these specimens by a thin thread, I brought along my number one tool with me today, which is a good pair of sharp, sanitized secateurs. The reason why we want them to be sharp is it's going to make our lives easier as we're cutting the falling branches, and it's also going to be healthy for the tree because if we have to remove any dislodged branches, we want to make sure that our cuts are nice and clean and straight to avoid water damage or insect infestation. The second thing I brought with me today is I just brought a bundle of zip ties, because in order to do proper removal, we want to make sure that we cut any of those fallen branches into nice equal lengths. We want to bundle them up in a round bundle, weighing probably no more than 5 to 10 pounds so we can carry them out to the curb. And I'm just going to wrap them up using zip ties. And that's always the first step. It's basically just clearing the area and getting it ready for future work. If you get into an area and you realize, you know what, these secateurs might not be the right tool for the job, come on in and talk to any one of our horticultural professionals at our Sheridan Garden Centers, because we can certainly provide alternative recommendations such as pruning saws, loppers, pole pruners, or even ratchet handle pruners, which will allow us to do larger diameter cuts with minimal to no effort. Once we've determined what tools we may need to use, we also want to ask, what other peripheral items may I need in order to get the job done correctly today? That could be pruning paste, it could be support or tree tie systems, or it could even be something as easy as a floral foam, depending on whether or not we need to tie anything up or make sure that it's not going to blow around in the wind. But once we've got our tools, we want to head out there, we want to start the cleanup at any time during the year, and we want to make sure that we get our area ready for the next steps. However, if you ever have any questions, please feel free to pop into any one of our garden centers, give them a call, send us an email, and chat with one of our horticultural professionals, and we'll help you out every step along the way. Once again, this is Sean from Sheridan Nurseries, wishing you some happy gardening.